everybody, and welcome to episode 28 of the NBA Files. Joining me today, as always, I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones, and today I think I met my motor mouth match, Mr. Everett Terry Jr. from MyNewPhilly.com. We were going at it a little bit earlier in the production meeting, and I'm excited about having Mr. Terry join us today. He's on a show called Trust the Process, which airs on Monday nights on MyNewPhilly.com, and also on it's a Facebook Live program as well.
Facebook Live, so audience interaction.
There you go. Audience, see, I don't like to talk to you a lot. NBA, though, is why we're talking today. I'm going to get right into it. Now, I wanted to start the show to talk about Chris Paul.
All right.
But then I was like, you know what? Let me go to Russell Westbrook.
Please.
You know, they had a good run. I want to talk about Russell. Then the news broke that Blake Griffin is going to be out for the remainder of the playoffs, which is sad news because you want to see when Chris Paul underachieves yet again. I want him to be at full strength.
Wow.
So his apologists would have nothing to apologize for. But that's just the truth, you know? It's just the truth. He's got more commercials than finals appearances, whether it be Western, Eastern, NBA. It's the truth yet again. Some say the truth hurts. But my question for you today, Mr. Terry, get it open since you are a Chris Paul fan, is very simple. Should the Clippers win this series, or should they be expected to win this series with Blake Griffin out?
Okay. Before the series started, I picked the Utah Jazz to win because the Utah Jazz are a better team.
But you're a Chris Paul dude. You're a Chris Paul fan.
Listen, let's back that up. I'm not a Chris Paul fan. I think he's a very talented guard. But what I do think is that teams win championships, not individuals solely. And the problem is that I don't think the Clippers have a good enough team, okay? They're lacking consistent play from the perimeter with J.J. Redick and Mba Mute or whoever else they throw out there. Okay. I think that the bigger issue is that when you take Chris Paul, even if he gives you 20 and 10, you don't know which DeAndre Jordan's going to show up, and you're going to depend solely on Blake, who's now hurt, to carry the rest of your offensive load. See, the problem with Chris Paul is while he is a guy that can give you 20 and 10 or 25 and 10,
doesn't impact the game.
Fair enough, but the argument is that he's more of a facilitator. He looks to get other guys involved into the game versus become the primary scorer.
When was the last time we saw Chris Paul give an assist in the closing minutes of a game to put the team ahead and win? But we can all recall the last time we saw Chris Paul go high off the glass to put the team ahead by 2.
Okay.
So, you know, that's where I call Biss on the whole facilitator thing. Chris Paul is a facade. He's been a facade.
Wow.
He's been something made up by the media to have many people believe he's better than what he actually is.
So you don't think he's good at all?
I don't think he's top 5. I think that if you're going by production and value of his commercials, I think those are outstanding.
So
I don't
State
think
Farm is winning.
Yeah, State Farm is winning. He does some other he does another commercial. Nike was winning with him, although his shoes were hideous. You know, but the bottom line to me is he's got another scapegoat here. Because Blake Griffin being out, they're going to say, well, he lost Blake. But people forget the Golden State Warriors become the Golden State Warriors because Chris Paul falls on his face again, and the Clippers lose in that series. The Houston Rockets came back from 3-1. They were the first to do it.
I can't lay all that at his feet. And
but hold on. Before you say that, I'm going to throw this in there, so I'm going to change the narrative on you. We threw that phrase a lot earlier. I'm going to change the narrative on you. When a team wins, he's the greatest. That guy, David Jordan's the greatest because his team won.
Right.
But when a team loses, you know, it's a team game.
But who's ever put Chris Paul in greatness category? I've certainly not. I said he's a very good guard. I don't think that he's greatness personified.
Okay, so then we agree. He's an overrated guard. Okay. So if you're the Clippers, are you going to max out this very good guard? Or are you going to max out your very good power forward? Or do you change direction?
Here's the problem. So you've got Chris Paul, who's at 30, you know, right on the top end of his prime, going to start to tail down a little bit. He struggles. Well, he struggles with health. He has a hard time staying healthy, and he's a guy that hasn't put up good production, for your argument, in the postseason. We all agree that you're only as good as what you've done for me lately. So if he's not able to get them over the hump and get them into a deep playoff run, which they're probably not going to have this year, because even if they somehow beat the Utah Jazz, by the way, which is impressive without Rudy Gobert, who's arguably the best big defensive player in basketball.
He is.
So
they gotta pass
and they're winning. He went down in like 58 seconds, which is the most tragic thing since Andrew Bogut went down in 14 seconds earlier this year with the Cavs. So I understand the fact that if they come back and win this series without Blake Griffin, they're still not favored to beat the Rockets, the Spurs, or the Warriors. So at this point, the season's pretty much a wrap, for all intents and purposes, barring some major injury. If I'm the Clippers, what I do notice is that when Blake Griffin goes out, the team plays better. As a team.
The expectations are lower, so they look like they play better. See, don't get all blinded by this.
I think Blake is a great player, but I think the offense needs to be built around him differently if that's the direction they want to go.
So you need to get a different guard in there.
Fair. What guard are you going to go and get for him?
You know, it's funny. It's funny you say that.
Okay.
Because when I look at Chris Paul and I think about the trade rumors that Chris Paul for Kyrie Irving, who said no in that deal? Cleveland said no.
Okay.
Chris Paul for John Wall, who said no in that deal? Washington said no.
Okay.
The jig is up.
But they're all younger.
Okay, but
I'm gonna trade a 30-year-old Paul for a 24-year-old Kyrie
nice,
or a 25-year-old
Would you trade Kyrie? I don't want to change this, but to put it in perspective, if Chris Paul is as nice as you say he's very good,
right.
but I believe he's been elevated in the media.
Okay.
So when I hear Blake Griffin is going out, and I look at our rundown, I say, you know what? I want to get this Chris Paul thing out of the way. And then in the pregame back there, you were all Chris Paul'd up, so I said, good, this will be a good discussion. Now you want to come back off a little bit.
I didn't say that Chris Paul wasn't good.
Because you think we're going to talk about Russell Westbrook. But nevertheless, I don't think if you're the Clippers, I think you let him walk.
For nothing.
This is perception.
Who are you going to replace him with is my $1 million question.
You got it.
Addition by subtraction only works if you have something to replace him with that makes sense.
Well, you got Raymond Felton this year.
Come on, man.
Hold on, let me finish. Man. You got Raymond Felton this year.
We're not going to put...
You max out Blake.
Okay.
You got DeAndre. You go in the draft. You grab yourself a point guard in the draft. I haven't scoured one that would be available in the 20s for them.
Exactly.
You know, but you grab them. Or maybe you get a guy and have Doc Rivers perhaps coach him up.
So how many years would you like him to coach him up?
You get 1 or 2 years.
How many years Blake Griffin been in the NBA?
You get 1 or 2 years because you now have money available. So you can perhaps go after a Paul George after next year because you haven't maxed out. I look smart.
Let's not talk about Paul George because my thing is I don't think Paul George is as good as people give him. I like Paul George.
No, I agree. But you had Paul George, you had Blake Griffin, you had DeAndre Jordan, and you had a quality defensive-minded point guard. Now you got a team in the Western Conference who can compete.
Third question: who? Tell me who. Give me a name.
But you know what? You want a name. I don't want to give you a name because when you start giving out names, people lose sight of your point. Okay. And my point is you need to lose and move on from Chris Paul. That's the point.
So you want the Clippers to go back to mindless losing and not being relevant again in order to get in a position to go get a good guard?
Is the goal to win a championship or is the goal to be the Eagles? To be in the news
every week? I like that.
What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
Here's the thing, and I understand it. The Clippers were bad for so long.
D'Angelo Russell could be a guy. Again, I don't want to give names, but I'm just, I'm foreshadowing. Lonzo Ball might be picked.
Is D'Angelo Russell a defensive-minded point guard? He's not.
He's a better defender than people give credit for. And when you ask him to focus solely on defense and just allow that competitive fire to come out at that age, yes, you can turn him into a much better defensive.
You better make sure that you're not sitting around nowhere where you got a cell phone present. That's what you better do.
I got no problems with that. You ain't
no problem with what he did with Swaggy P?
No.
Oh, man,
because his nickname is Swaggy P. I'm going to chump you if your nickname is Swaggy P. I'm going to play you if your nickname is Swaggy P.
That's a teammate. That's a teammate.
Not a teammate. I want your girl. That's what.
And how did that work out? Did he get her? No.
Is he still? I don't even know. We're completely off point here.
Off point.
The point I'm trying to make though is to bring it back is I would love to see the Clippers move on from Chris Paul.
Fair.
I'm tired of hearing Chris Paul.
I'm not disputing that. I think Chris Paul's perfect fit is a team that's championship made ready. That's devoid of a point guard.
So he can go ruin them. Let's switch gears a little bit. Yeah, I slid that in. We're going to switch gears a little bit. Now
your hate is obvious.
I state the obvious, man. Reality here.
All right.
Russell Westbrook.
Carry the same hate right here. Make sure you have it.
Got nothing but love for Russell. I'm gonna give you the ball right here, and I'm gonna sit back because I sucked a lot of air out of the last segment. Okay. Sit back, and I'm gonna ask you this question: is independent Russell killing championship Russell?
First of all, quantify what that means. So tell me, what is independent Russell? What is championship Russell? Because I've never seen a championship Russell.
Independent Russell goes 4 for 18.
Oh,
yeah. Independent Russell shoots
that
34 for 90.
That Russell kills any team.
And, look.
That Russell would kill the Sixers.
Look, I asked you the question. I didn't ask you to tap my notes.
All right, listen. Here's the problem with Russell Westbrook. For the amazing stats that he puts up and for the year that he's had, and it's been impressive, I'm not going to dispute it, averaging a triple-double, which is something that hasn't been done since Oscar Robertson. Hold on.
Did you go double syllable quotes on me?
We did. Listen, while it's impressive, remember that when Oscar Robertson averaged a triple-double, he was third in MVP voting.
Yeah.
Behind Wilt,
Bill Russell,
who put up ridiculous numbers, and Bill Russell. Because at the end of the day,
the great Bill Russell.
winning always factors into how people view you. And Russell's team played better and won better. That aside, because we won't come to the MVP conversation. That aside, while Russell's put up great stats, the argument is, does he really make the OKC Thunder better? Or is he a stat chaser? So, and here's why I say that. How many times in games?
Wrap it up,
how many times in a game? How many times? Yeah, right. Yeah.
Chaser.
How many times in a game did they have a chance to win and Russell Westbrook shot them out of a game? We can go to game 2. Okay, we don't have to go far. He shot them out of the game 4 for 18 because he was mad that they said.
Team matters when you want him to pass the ball, but team doesn't matter when he shoots them out of the game because there's 4 other guys on the court that need to go. How hard is that?
Listen, didn't he play with Kevin Durant, the second best player in the world, who did this? And how many times did he pass him the ball?
Pop-Tart, we all know, is soft in the middle.
You're not gonna call him
I'm going to call him what he is. We know he's going to cry for MVP. But when the game gets nip and tuck, he's going to do what he always does. Fall back and use Russell as a scapegoat. Look,
he used Russell as a scapegoat?
Because he knew he knew that when he didn't win, it was always going to be Russell shot the ball too many times. Tell me a time. Did he? How many times did a player play with Larry Bird and you say he shot the ball too many times? He should have got the ball to Larry. I'll fast forward. How many times do you have somebody say he needed to give the ball to Michael? It doesn't happen. Kobe, LeBron, it doesn't happen. Because a dog is a dog, and if they don't bite as puppies, they're not going to bite as full grown.
I'm gonna tell you where the problem was. When Russell Westbrook came into the league, he was given a coach who was relatively new to the coaching realm. And that coach didn't instill in him that philosophy trumps ego. Let me ask you a question. Here's a simple question. Do you think Russell Westbrook could jack 4 for 18 in a Greg Popovich system?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
You know why?
No.
Because it would be a battle of will. And that's actually a really good question. It's a really good question. And I'm not being facetious when I say it. The reason why it's a really good question is coaching matters.
Agreed.
And
he's never had good coaching in the NBA.
No, I think Maurice Cheeks is a phenomenal
Maurice Cheeks hasn't been his head coach.
He's been his assistant coach, which actually has more access to him than his head coach. But I want to go back to your point. Because it's a great point, and no one ever talks about it. It's a really good point. It's easy to coach the guys that can't play. We got a guy in Philadelphia who's getting all the credit in the world because he
coaches guys that stink.
Not guys that stink that's being kind. Coaching guys that shouldn't be playing at a CYO league game is better. We're hailing a guy because he made it to the NBA.
T.J. McConnell averages more pass touches per anybody else in the NBA. Whatever
think about that. We are hailing guys in Philadelphia because they made it to the NBA. How bad is that? But I'm going to come back full circle.
Okay.
Coaching matters, and it matters when you have to get the talented guy to fall in line. He could go 4 for 18 in Greg Popovich's offense because then it would force Greg Popovich to get up, uncross his legs, as Calipari said, and get him to dig in Russell's butt. So
which he would do. And you know what would happen?
He would go 19 for 28.
And you know what would happen? Russell Westbrook will respect him. Do you think that Scott Brooks could have that same pedigree or Donovan could have the same pedigree to go check Russell and he actually take it in and say, okay, coach, and
adjust? Is Scotty and Billy.
And therein is my point. He doesn't respect his coaches, so it's going to be hard for him to garner respect. People have said it countless times. Phil Jackson was the only person that could coach Kobe. We saw what happened when Kobe Bryant had other coaches that were below the pedigree of Phil Jackson, and he didn't respect them. You give a player a coach that they respect, they tend to listen.
Respect is earned, though, right?
We agree. Okay. And that's why Russell Westbrook is headed down the path that he is. He's a great offensive player, but he jacks way too much and doesn't know how to develop his teammates within the chemistry flow of the offense.
So you're saying I'm right. Independent Russell is killing championship Russell.
I never disputed that.
So then the next question for you is, can Russell Westbrook win a title?
Can he win a title?
Can he win a championship?
As a B player, sure.
Who's he behind?
You're asking me a question. Can he win a title? Sure. I think anybody can win a title when they're willing to defer.
All right, you're right. Let me phrase it. Can he win a title as a lead player on the team?
Not the way he plays now. No, he'd have to augment his game.
Mike couldn't win a title when they dropped to 63 at that point. But right now, where Russell is in his career, this is what you got. This is what you got.
You know what? You could be right. And so he's going to be one of those guys that has a great career and may never win a title. Because if he's going to be this Russell, he needs the perfect complementary player. And I don't think that there's one in the NBA right now who can complement his game a better way. You sit here and call Kevin Durant a Pop-Tart, but that's because he has beta male qualities, which means that for an alpha male, as Russell Westbrook is, that's the perfect complement. Alphas and betas complement each other. But if he can't complement him, they're not going to play well. And if he couldn't play with a beta, he sure isn't going to be able to complement with another alpha. Could Russell Westbrook jack with LeBron James on the floor? without getting checked? Absolutely. Yeah, come on, stop it. Stop
because
it.
you see what
Stop
Kyrie does.
Kyrie shoots and makes his shots, though.
Kyrie shoots about what, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think they're about what and what.
No.
I think they're about what and what. And I'm going to use an old phrase. Real recognizes real.
Fair.
So LeBron it's funny you say that. LeBron may not appreciate 4 for 18, but he won't let it get to 4 to 18.
Agree. He's going to hold that ball.
4 to 11, nah, man.
You're going to hold that ball. Right.
Man.
Pass that over.
Exactly.
Right here.
Why is it that it's okay for Kevin? And I got a whole list of questions here, but
sure.
Russell takes the team with Steven Adams, Enes Kanter, and Victor Oladipo to a place they would never have made, had not made, and would not have made without him. And it's okay to just disregard that he didn't just lose Kevin Durant. He lost Serge Ibaka, who's overrated, but he was a guy who's been a part of a winning team. He lost Deion Waiters, who when he went to Miami,
Spoelstra played good.
Spoelstra found a way. Again, coaching matters. Spoelstra found a way to get out of it. He didn't just lose.
an underrated coach. He's actually a really
He
good
didn't
coach.
just lose Durant. He lost the entire squad. He got a guy in Roberson, and I saw this on Philly Sports Guy show, who shoots 5% from the free throw line. This is your wing player. Shoots 5%. He is playing with the equivalent of T.J. McConnell and Covington. And they're winning. So when does it become the guys around him need to adjust to him? Why does he have to slow down for them to catch up instead of them catching up?
I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm gonna take a player that you're gonna be able to easily identify with Russell Westbrook.
Say Chris Paul, we're going to commercial.
I'm not. We're going Allen Iverson, who was a black hole for the bulk of his NBA career, and they tried to plug other stars in. They tried to give him. They didn't try to give him Chris Webber.
Allen was another one that bailed out that organization.
But what I'm saying, hear what I'm saying. When he was playing around a bunch of nothings and nobodies, what made them a championship team? They had to take the guys that they had. They realized they weren't good enough, and Larry Brown went out and got guys like George Lynch.
When were they a championship team?
2001. Were they not in the finals?
That makes you a championship team.
They got to the finals. I didn't say they won, but they were a championship team. They came through the East.
I don't want to call them a championship competing team.
All right, championship caliber team. Let's call it that.
He won 50 games once in his career before he went to Denver. I mean, Allen Iverson, and look, we're going to get completely off topic,
but he and Russell Westbrook,
the
argument is that, you know the reason why Russell Westbrook looks at him as one of his favorite players? The guy that he looked at growing up that he wanted to be like? Imagine Allen Iverson at 6'3", 200 pounds.
He would probably resemble
Russell Westbrook.
Well, that's the case with Allen. Allen is 6'7". He'd be Kobe. No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. He would not be Kobe.
I can't even.
Yeah, you can't. He would not be.
See, that's where love
because he didn't have the work ethic to be Kobe. He didn't have the work ethic.
Or he didn't have, and that's. But I can bring it back because we can go on and on about Russell. And I know, I'm pushed against it, and I want to go other topics. But I'm captivated by Russell because he reminds me of so many, and I got it written down on my notes. He has that Tupac mentality.
Yeah.
He has that irreverent personality that you don't get every day. And he's got all the things that you
plays with heart,
coach.
and he doesn't. You know what? It was funny. I was talking to a guy of mine, a buddy of mine, and he said, I said, what do you like about Russell Westbrook? He said, you know what? Russell Westbrook is the guy, if I'm going to the blacktop to go play a pickup game, I want him on my team because he's got a dog in him. He going to come down the lane and dunk on everybody. He don't care. He'll yell at you. That's what you want.
I can wrap
and
that
so
up
guys,
in a bow. Hold on, we got to go break. I can wrap that up in a bow, though. He's the guy you go and get for a fight versus the person going to get it.
Correct.
So there's two people in the world. The
That's
guy
it.
you go and get, and the guy who goes and gets someone. He's the guy you're going to get. We'll be right back on NBA Files. Good stuff. Eric Terry Jr., Everett Terry Jr. We'll be right back. We're going to talk a little Sixers, Celtics, and I'll prove to him why Russell Westbrook is the MVP. NBA Files.
All right. To make sure that you have a job after college.
When it comes to injuries,
they're not all created equal.
That's why at Performance Spine and Sports Medicine,
our team of doctors will coordinate and customize your care
to provide the best treatment options using the area's most advanced medical technology.
All with one goal in mind.
To get you back in the game.
We call life.
Pain-free.
Drug-free.
Surgery-free. That's what we do here at Performance Spine and Sports Medicine.
Get better faster.
Stay better longer.
Saving your business money is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Tanker Consulting Services, a payment solutions expert, will show you how with a free, detailed, written analysis illustrating your cost savings. We usually uncover savings between 10 and 25%, and sometimes more. We can help your business succeed by providing reliable and secure merchant payment solutions such as merchant services programs, point of sale systems, and ATM machines. TCS, one of the leaders in regional credit card processing consulting, offers electronic payments to merchants locally and nationwide through our preferred vendor programs. We work to keep business costs down with a comprehensive suite of quality products, services, and customized credit card processing programs exclusively tailored for your company. TCS is convenient, reliable, and innovative, with customer service available 24/7, 365 days a year. Our in-depth industry knowledge, partnership strategy, and innovative processing solutions allow for a specialized approach to providing merchant bank processing with 100% full fee disclosure. TCS is one-stop shopping for all your merchant services solutions. Our clients save money 100% of the time. Trust Tanker Consulting Services, the knowledgeable, professional, and friendly provider of secure payment services. We set the standard by which...
Welcome back to the NBA Files. Kwame Fisher-Jones joined with Everett Terry Jr. from MyNewPhilly.com. Now, on your show, you get to move away from basketball and trust the process of airing on Mondays. You get to move away from basketball. But here, you're on my blacktop. We're not going to move away from basketball. And we're going to jump into... I want to ask you about the Celtics and Raptors.
Okay.
But do not let me leave here without you explaining to me how Brett Brown is hampered by the Sixers.
No problem.
All right, we need to get
We can do that.
Because he willingly accepts those checks. There's always room for no.
Would you? I would.
No, I wouldn't. You're not going to tie me to a sinking ship. I'm not going to, look, and I tell this to everybody. I am not going to go down with your foolishness. Don't include me in your crime because I will snitch if you get caught. Do not ask me to do things for you because if you screw it up, I will say, that's him. There are never 4 fingers pointing back at me. All 5 are pointing at you. Brett Brown has willingly accepted this fiasco. He should have stood up years ago and said, dog, you drafted Nerlens Noel when the world knew he couldn't rebound at a high level. You drafted Michael Carter-Williams, who was suspect at Syracuse, and told me I needed to
So you don't trust Hinkie. I don't trust Hinkie either.
It's not, man, I would never trust Hinkie. I never would have took the job. You only give him one time to screw me. You only give him one time to screw me.
I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to tell you why. When you're an assistant for as long as he was,
There's reason for that, too.
Under Pop's system, and you're looking at an opportunity to head coach a team. Every assistant dreams of being a head coach, just like every assistant manager dreams of being a store manager. Everybody looks to get to that position where they're the big chair. They're sitting in the big chair. So when you get an opportunity to coach an NBA team, there's only 30 guys in the world that do what you do. So when you get a chance to do that, you're not going to smack that in the face and say, oh, I don't want it because they're not a good team. Everybody has to start at the bottom and build their way up. It's rare that a coach can come in and take a championship team as a rookie and get an opportunity to make them great. So your whole coaching development tree is based around whether or not you can come to a team that's not very good, develop players, get them winning, and then move on to bigger and better down the road. It's unfair to sit here and say that Brett Brown is the sole reason that the Sixers think, because he's not. It's an organizational issue. Now, if you want to tackle that now, we can. Or do you want to talk?
No, we'll come back to Celtics. We'll come back to Celtics.
Okay.
First of all, fair is a place where they deep fry butter and raise pigs. It doesn't exist in the real world. You cannot tell me that this man said, you know what? College basketball, they're getting $10 million plus. Nah, I don't want to do that. NBDL, get to teach players and teach a game I love. No, I don't want to do that.
Name me one NBDL coach that's come to the NBA.
That's come to the NBA.
And done something great.
Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder in Utah.
Okay.
And you know what Quinn Snyder has? All the players the Sixers passed on.
But that's not Brett Brown's fault.
Yes, you aren't going to
How
give
is that Brett
if they're
Brown's fault?
asking me to cook a meal, let me calm down. See,
Yeah.
I get excited.
Yeah, I see
The
that.
Sixers
are
like
your heart.
No, they're my babies. They're my children.
Okay.
You know, I got 2 beautiful kids, another one on the way. They're my babies. And when my babies screw up, I will. I love you to death, but you gotta lay that down.
Right.
The Sixers and them little 140 character clowns out there that keep reciting these hashtags and egging this nonsense on.
Trust the process.
Yeah, those. I didn't want to say that because I didn't want people to get it tied into your show.
No,
I think your show is wonderful. I think the phrase needs to go to hell. Now, back to the point. You're not going to bring me in and say, Kwame, I want you to cook this wonderful meal for me, all right? Here's some asparagus, some arugula, and some couscous. I'm gonna say no. I need some salt, I need some pepper, I need some chicken. I'm gonna tell you the ingredients I need.
Of course.
This dude walked in after a resume that yielded more respect and said, yeah, sure, I'll take those ingredients. Then turned around and said, yeah, well, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Then turned around and couldn't develop the one guy who he got, who had no problems when he was on a team that won, only had problems when he was on a team that wanted to lose. We saw him dancing in the streets in Boston, doing the dap and the show money instead of winning games on the floor. That is the problem I have with Brett Brown. He has failed to develop talented players, and he's hid behind an organization that's been inept. And I question how much the organization wants to win because, once again, the organization is leading the league in dead money, meaning they've got insurance paying bills for them. They're not kicking out any money. So, Brett Brown has gotten a pass way too long in the city.
Okay, and I hear that. And you know what? There's points in there that you're absolutely
factually.
Points. There's points in there where you're absolutely factually correct. Here's where we're going to disagree. If I am a coach, and my job is to coach the talent in front of me, and you as the organization don't give me talent, what do you want me to do? You want me to make chicken salad out of turkey meat? I can't. You have to give me chicken. You just said yourself you need ingredients. So the Sixers came into the draft, right? And they took BPA on the board, okay, at Okafor. I argue, why on God's earth are you taking another big when you've got two, one who isn't on the floor and one who's already playing, and you've got so many holes along the wing, along the guard, that you haven't addressed?
Okay.
Let me tell you who came in that same draft just a few picks later. Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Would he have looked great in a Sixers uniform? Okay. Would he have filled a hole on the Sixers roster? But nobody wanted to take him because he wasn't BPA based on how he was rated coming into the draft. And this is my argument across any and all sports. Sometimes BPA doesn't help your team because what happened is now you had the Sixers who drafted 3 guys at the same position. They couldn't find ways to work them all in, which does come down to coaching. But the other thing is they don't complement each other well. We saw Brett Brown trying different combinations where he put Embiid and Okafor on the floor, where he put Okafor and Noel on the floor, where he put Noel and anybody on the
He
floor.
had to coach and he couldn't get it done. Go ahead.
But here's the issue. Those guys couldn't play off each other. They could all play individually okay. Nerlens Noel was one of the few guys in the NBA that was topping his...
Try to sell me, Nerlens Noel.
Listen.
Don't you try to sell me, Nerlens Noel.
Listen, he was regarded as one of the top defensive bigs in the NBA in blocks and steals. At one point in this season, he was a very good player. What happened to his skill set, I don't know.
The schedule kept going.
Fair enough.
Kept going.
Okafor, Rookie of the Year, stats, numbers. We all knew he could put it up offensively, but he was lazy on the defensive end. That comes down to coaching, where more so assistant coaches normally push that envelope than head coaches.
Be careful with the word lazy. Be careful with the word lazy.
But,
I understand what you're saying.
But my argument is, you have to be able to get these guys to play. So you know Okafor can play. You know Noel can play. Nobody knew what Embiid could do. Embiid comes in and is everything that everybody has hoped. This whole process has been about, when he played his 31 games, he was everything everybody hoped for. The problem is now you got 3 guys who can't play collectively. So now you got to move one. And the problem is Colangelo messed up because when he came here, the first thing he said is, I got to move one of these guys, and gave away all his leverage. So now people sat and waited and got him for peanuts.
No leverage. And
he didn't have to say, he gave them away.
Who did he give away?
Noel.
What was he going to give for a dude that couldn't even crack the lineup in Dallas?
Who's gonna get re-up to a nice
So
contract?
did Bismarck Biombi. So that means
Exactly.
they throw money away in the NBA.
Exactly. Timothy Miles Golf got $60 million and doesn't play.
Exactly.
And
So who was he? If you're a general manager of the other teams and you know the Nerlens, they're not going to re-up Nerlens. You know he's going to be available. Why would you trade anything of consequence for him? I mean, he got a guy, Justin Anderson, who, to me, they took a flyer on to see
That's
if
exactly
Brett
what they
Brown
did.
could coach him up.
And then they had the nerve to say
And
they got a
couldn't.
1 back, but they didn't. We knew it was
Well,
going to be 2 twos.
it was
hanky
a lot
because
of,
there was
but
no way
you know
Dallas
what?
was going to win enough
They
games.
gave Hinkie the same credit when they said Hinkie got a 1 back when he did the trade with Dario from Orlando. It was a 1 that the Sixers were never going to have to convey to Orlando because they were never going to be in that. They were never going to have that type of record.
Listen,
So
the only deal that Hinkie really got over was the Sacramento deal.
No, I don't even think he got that deal over.
Really?
I don't think he got that deal over because the guy in Sacramento he should have got was Ben McLemore. That was the guy he should have walked away with. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking
Coming in,
contact
I
off
was
your books.
coming in. I was a Nick Stauskas guy coming into that draft. I liked Nick Stauskas. We can look at him now and say that he's not very good.
Should have said that out
But I
loud.
liked him coming in from Michigan. I liked the fact that he could shoot and he could space the floor. The Sixers needed a Capono, a Corver, a Redick type that could space the floor.
You know what's
he hasn't played well at the NBA level, but he has moments. He's had moments where he's played very well.
Now we've gone back and forth, and I respect your basketball acumen. And you said something that rose my ears. Because he could space the floor, because he could shoot the ball. There's this belief in the NBA that shooting is more important than getting to the basket. Because people have watched the success Steph Curry had. But they forget that before Steph Curry, there was Reggie Miller, 0 titles. Dale Ellis, 0 titles. Dale Curry, 0 titles. Allen Houston, 0 titles. Great shooters.
Ray Allen.
Well,
Ray Allen. Arguably the greatest three-point shooter ever.
And you know what Ray Allen could do at a high level? And a lot of people, you know what else he could do? Put the ball on the floor and finish the rim.
Early in his career in Milwaukee.
He could still do. He could do it all the way up to the end.
Once he got to Seattle, he got away from that and became a shooter.
No, when he
was
drafted by Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
He got to Milwaukee. When he got to Seattle, he kind of fell off a little
because
bit.
Rashard Lewis started to emerge as a player.
Yeah, but I don't know enough about what the Sonics did to pin that on anybody specifically.
Okay.
But I can tell you when he got to Miami and when he played in Boston,
he was a shooter.
He could always move without the ball, and he could always get to the rim. That's why he was able to get the spacing that he had, because teams always had to be concerned about I was about to call Jesus Shuttleworth. Ray Allen getting.
That's how people remember.
Yeah, I was about to call him Jesus getting to the hole, which was going to sound really awkward, and it really did when I said it out loud. But he could always finish at the rim. That's what made Ray Allen so effective. And the reason why I bring that up is because we're hearing a lot of Monk, who's a guy that you like, Malik.
I like
from
Malik
Kentucky. It's very important that the Sixers get a guy who can get his own shot, because that's where shooters
I think
fail.
Malik Monk can do that.
I don't. But we're going to come back.
Okay.
I want to talk. We're going to stay with Sixers. I was going to just destroy Kyle Lowry, but you saved him. Obviously must know that.
He may be a Sixer.
NBA Files.
High-achieving students. Internationally renowned faculty. And award-winning alumni. A 226-year history of excellence and a beautiful urban campus. The University of Pittsburgh.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
He is a lawyer. Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Welcome back to the NBA Files. Everett Terry Jr. As always, yours, Kwame Fisher Jones. You have saved Kyle Lowry. Look at this, people. I had a whole Kyle Lowry stats. I was going to dig into him. Hopefully he doesn't wind up with the Sixers. I'll just leave it at that. We're going from one hopeful player not arriving to a hopeful player departing. I'm going to ask you about Joel Embiid, sir.
Okay.
And I'm just going to phrase it
Did you
simply.
say hopeful departing?
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
Okay.
I'm T.I. ready.
There's a faction of people that feel the same way.
Yeah, and the ones that don't are called glue sniffers. The ones that actually believe that. Well, you know, before I do, let's see what section you fall in.
I'm of the section.
I haven't even asked the question yet.
Listen.
You already about to start your apology. You already about to start your apology for it.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Joel Embiid, go.
I'm of the faction that prior to seeing him play, I was ready to just chalk him as a loss because you didn't know what you were going to get. When I saw what he did in those 31 games, everything in me
Where
said...
he didn't play back-to-back and didn't play more than 2 days.
And
2
listen,
games in 7
trust me, that's going to be the hindering on his career is his health. If you can get him to give you 60 games a year,
Lord,
the Sixers have a chance to be really, really good.
Oh,
The problem
Lord.
is, here's the problem. Hold on, because I'm a realist. I don't think he's ever going to be able to give you 60 games a
So
year.
why you put it out there?
Because you have to believe in something.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Easter
Listen,
Bunny
you
is
have to,
fake.
You have to
Santa
justify...
doesn't exist. Mama never kissed him.
Here's the argument. From a Sixers perspective, from a Sixers fan perspective, from the trust the process and we love Sam Hinkie process, I'm not any of those people, but you have to be able to justify in your mind that this was worth it. If Embiid ends up being a bust, if they've already gotten rid of Noel and all they have to show for it is a Jahlil Okafor who can't play defense and is on the B unit right now as we speak, what does that say about all this losing on purpose? Nothing. It says nothing. Because we don't even know that the guy they're going to get in this year's draft is going to be a player that's going to elevate this team.
Well, they're going to get this year's number 1, and then they're going to get the 4 because the Lakers are going to fall out of the top 3. Go ahead, proceed.
Oh, I like that you're so hopeful. Yeah, believe in something. Listen, I'm one of these people, and I'm a Laker fan, so I actually want the Lakers to keep their pick. But I think that the Sixers, if they have a chance based on where they're projected to sit between 4 and 6, they get Malik Monk. I think he fits because he's a shooter who can put the ball on the floor, like you just said.
You notice how this man just shifted from my question to Joel Embiid? We'll try to slide positivity in there. I want to know about 31 games in 3 years, my man, Ralph Sampson 2.0. Talk to me about him. Why do people think he is a viable candidate to stay in uniform?
Where else are you going to go?
Okay.
Where else are you gonna go?
See, this is why I grab all you trust the processes. This is your leader, right?
I'm not a trust the process leader. Don't do that.
This is your leader, and I've got it. This is what Joel Embiid can do for you.
Yes.
I'm working on an article now on it.
Okay.
So if I see it anywhere, I will hunt you down.
Okay.
He can be the biggest piece to the championship puzzle.
We agree.
You know how? By trading his butt out of here.
Wow.
You know, too, a championship team that has a player that's ready to leave, or a championship team that is possibly in flux. Let's think.
What team?
What team? You don't know a team that's in flux? The face of their franchise's contract is up because he couldn't stay healthy, so he didn't get a max deal. They've got arguably the best shooter in the NBA, the best player, moves without the ball. Daddy is an analyst, played for the Lakers on their team. And then they got a guy who has a player option who's going to opt out so he can get $200 million for playing in one NBA Finals in a lockout shortened season. That team would be the team that started in Philadelphia. That team is the Golden State Warriors. They have an issue in front of them. See, I went too fast. I'm gonna slow it down.
No way that they would trade. Who are they gonna trade for Embiid?
Let's just. You wanted to be positive.
Go ahead,
We're gonna be
sure.
positive. You have Golden State in front of you. Their roster pretty much after this season is completely in flux. Steph Curry's a free agent.
They're gonna re-up him.
Well, hopefully. There's more to that than what people know. No, because the guys that believed in Steph Curry, people forget Steph Curry was taken 7th in that draft.
Agree.
The guys that drafted Steph Curry and the guys that pushed for Steph Curry to be re-signed are no longer in the organization. I think one is a scout, but Jerry West has left. There were people in that organization that didn't want to re-up Steph Curry. There were people in that organization who didn't want Steph Curry to stay.
What drugs are they on?
Well, remember now.
He's a 2-time MVP.
Now he is.
Okay, so why would you not want to re-up him at this point?
But prior to that, he was the B option of Monte Ellis.
Fair, but we talking about now. We can't talk about.
Yeah, but that's my point. Steph Curry though
evolved.
Steph Curry holds the chips now.
Agree.
He may harbor those ill will. He may harbor that. I'm saying it's not a given. That's all. I'm not saying he's gonna. Thank you. I'm not saying he's gonna leave, but I'm saying it's not a foregone conclusion because there was a lot of issue. When he won the MVP, he thanked the general manager that drafted him, not the current general manager.
He had nothing to do with it.
But the point is, he's a loyal dude. And I just want to throw this out there, too. He was supposed to go to New York.
Yeah, the Knicks wanted him bad.
And the coach there was your man, Mike D'Antoni. And he wanted Steph Curry. That general manager, whose name it was Larry. It's Larry. I know I'm going to kick myself when I get out. But his first name is Larry. He went out on a limb and drafted Steph Curry because he didn't think he would be there. Because if you remember, Minnesota took 17 point guards.
Right. Johnny Flynn and somebody else.
Now I'm going to fast forward. There was a trade available before they went on their run when they got rid of Mark Jackson for a certain player named Klay Thompson and Kevin Love.
I remember that.
There was a man who stood up, the power of no, there's always room for no, stood up on the table and said, I will leave this building right now If you trade for Kevin Love.
It would have been an awful trade.
It was Jerry West. You said it would have been an awful trade. I agree, but the point is Jerry West said, no way. That's a bad move.
Right. I trust Jerry West. Jerry West is a champion and a winner.
Jerry West was available when you signed Sam Hinkie. Where was that? Where was all that then?
Jerry West ain't want to come here.
Oh, but he wanted to go to Golden State. If you pay him, man, he'll
come. He's staying in California.
Northern California, Southern California is two completely different worlds.
Fair, but it's California.
Anyway, so you're always trying to see when I got you, I want you to try to switch the narrative on me. That's why you try to slide Malik Monk into the conversation.
Listen, I like Malik Monk.
Yeah, I bet you do. And you don't like Joel Embiid, so that's why you try to change the conversation. I'm bringing it back.
Okay.
Now, Jerry West is no longer with the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
I'm not saying I know anything special, but I have a hunch that Klay Thompson is ready to explore his options. He's only making 17 to 18 million.
Only. I'll only make happily 17, 18 million.
Work on your J, man. There's a hoop everywhere.
I'll happily only make 17,000. So honest with you, like I'm quite fine with it. Like, what are we talking about?
You put my new Philly on blast like that. He said 17 grand. You made me lose my point of myself. You got a guy in Klay Thompson who I believe may be available. You have Golden State who is going to be forced to match Kevin Durant. I don't know the numbers exactly, but he's going to be in the 200 million range.
Fair.
Steph Curry's going to be in the 200 million range.
Fair.
You've got Draymond Green who's not going anywhere. You can't afford to pay. You're looking at a salary roughly of about $90 to $100 million in 4 players.
Okay. The cap is going up.
It ain't going up that much. You got an opportunity to take those magic beans in Joel Embiid that were given to you. Offer Joel Embiid, and if it matters, Dario Saric if need be. And hold on, let me finish. I gotta make it appealing to you.
All right, make it appealing. Because I'm gonna play GM here.
The Lakers' first-round pick, you've got Sacramento's first-round pick, and you've got Philly's first-round pick. You offer 2 of those. You bring in Klay Thompson. You rid yourself of the Joel Embiid. Should we re-up him? Should we re-sign him? You let Golden State worry about that. It's Cali. He wanted to go to L.A. anyway. Not being honest, he wanted to go to L.A. Right? You get rid yourself of that. You bring in a guy who can play with Ben Simmons and whomever else you draft, hopefully Darian Fox.
Oh, God, no.
And you bring you bring in a bona fide NBA talent who has a dog in him who can compete at a high level and brings in a skill set that you cannot teach. That is how Joel Embiid can help this organization. It's the only way you can help.
All right, so I'm going to tell you why Golden State's going to say no thanks to that. The picks are very enticing, but Golden State's a win-now team. Picks mean that they need to develop. They don't got time for that.
They don't need to develop because they're top 10. But go ahead.
Hold on. Yep. Well, top 10 picks aren't always a guaranteed hit either.
If you know how to draft, they are.
Evan Turner wasn't a guaranteed pick, and he was number 2.
Who that?
See?
You almost made me curse. I was doing well.
People wanted Evan Turner coming out of OSU.
No, yeah. They're the same people that trust the process now.
I disagree, but we're going to come back to that. Listen, my thing is, Joel Embiid, why would Golden State want to take a center who's only played 31 games? For the same reason you want to get rid of him, why would Golden State then want him? Availability is your best ability.
Availability is
so
in fact
what good is he with all the skills that he has sitting on the bench in the playoffs when they can't use him?
They would use him differently in the Sixers. He would play spot duty. They've gotten
spot duty
because they've gotten minutes out of JaVale McGee.
I'm not gonna trade Klay Thompson, who arguably is the best flat-foot space shooter.
There's no argument. He is.
We're not gonna trade Klay Thompson for a guy that's gonna play spot duty as much as JaVale McGee and draft picks.
But that's not all you're getting. You're getting cap relief, which is very important. That's why they wound up with the contracts they have in front of them now, because they were very prudent and judicious in the way they spent their money. That cannot be overlooked. That it cannot just be thrown to the wayside, because the goal when you win a championship changes. Dr. Jerry Buss so eloquently said this. That when you win a championship, the goal changes. It's to compete for a title every year.
Agreed.
Because that's where you get your revenue.
Agreed.
You've already accomplished the goal, so now you want to compete every year. Golden State can.
Here's the thing. I don't think that Kevin Durant, when his contract is up, goes back to Golden State. I think he's going the LeBron route. I think he just wanted to go out and get the title under his belt. Hear me?
Pop-Tart would probably do that.
And then go back home to OKC.
Where?
OKC.
Who? He
loved OKC.
The Gooch? The bully in the bullpen?
Listen, if LeBron could go back to an owner who flat out blasted him,
he ain't the Gooch.
You ain't catching my
God
point.
Forgives.
If he could turn around and go back,
don't forget.
You're not selling me when a whole city burned jerseys to the ground and he came back and he was the most beloved, forgotten prodigal son ever in the history of the world, that Kevin Durant can't go back and make amends with Russell
Russ put his name on the Russ put his figure on a T-shirt. Russ put a cupcake on a T-shirt and gave it away.
What does that mean?
Russ ain't taking him back.
Listen.
Russ ain't taking him back. And we went over the numbers earlier. I think I put it away. You got Oladipo making $84 million.
He's movable.
Dude!
He's movable.
See?
Listen,
See,
teams always need a guard.
There's several debate tactics in the world. This is called diversion tactic. He's
Not at
trying
all.
to divert from the fact that he knows Joel Embiid to Golden State is a good move. So
For
what
the
he's
Sixers,
trying
it's a
to
great
do
move, but Golden
is
State doesn't make
interject
sense.
Kevin Durant not going
No.
back. Why would Kevin
For the
Durant?
Sixers, it makes perfect sense because they need a shooter. But for Golden State, it makes no sense at all.
No,
because there's no guarantee they're going to keep Kevin Durant.
And okay, so but you make that move if you have.
You're building it
Kevin
around
Durant
the fact that you think that they're guaranteed to lock up Kevin Durant.
I think that it's more likely that they lock up Durant than they do Steph Curry, if you want me to be full disclosure. I'm not, I just, something inside of me says it's hard more because being in that area at that time, there's more ill will there than people think.
I'm gonna hit you with something that might jump out to you. You know where I could really see Steph Curry based on what you've just said? Charlotte. Go back home.
That's not the question.
I'm just saying based on your argument. Based on your
I had
argument.
that on the rundown. I had
Based
that
on
on the
your
rundown.
argument.
Who in the playoffs would you overpay to bring to bring in? We can go that route, but I want right now the best way Joel Embiid to help this team is to be traded. Do you agree with that?
Right now.
I even change it. I'll put it on the line. The only way 31 games in 3 years helps this team. The only way Ralph Sampson 2.0 helps this team. The only way my back, my ankle, my foot, and my knee can help this team is by going that way.
You know the only way he can help this team? Stay healthy.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Stay
You know what helps your life? $1 million. That ain't coming.
Listen.
$1 million ain't walking through that door. Thelma from Good Times ain't walking through that door.
Bernadette Stannis.
And she ain't coming through that door. You got to do what you got. He's not going to.
Does anybody remember that Blake Griffin suffered from injury early in his career? He didn't even play his rookie year, and people were concerned. Hold on, he's not playing right now. But hold on. But Blake Griffin's still arguably a great player. And I remember when he was coming in from injury, people were like, well, the Clippers should move him because he can't stay healthy.
I love your premise, but your analogy sucks.
How?
Because the Clippers ain't got out of the second round. So if that's the future with Joel Embiid,
the Sixers can't win 40 games. We're talking about the second round. They can't even win 40 games. And that's my point.
The highlight of the season was to win 3 times more games than they won last year, which would have been 30. I repeat, you get rid of the walking gurney as soon as possible.
Okay.
You use that leverage, and Golden State is in a very difficult spot. And I'm telling you, I think though there's he ain't going back to OKC. Russ ain't having that.
I'd love to see him in LA. I'd love to see him with the Lakers.
All right, so if you didn't want to talk about it anymore, you just could have said you didn't want to talk about it anymore. So then let's jump to the Sixers. Let's stay the Sixers free agent. We spent the better much half of the show taking this. You know, better yet, let's take a quick break. I want you to think about this during the break.
Okay.
Ben Simmons at point guard.
Yes.
Okay, so you're for that.
Yes.
Okay, so then I'm going to change the question. What would be some of the advantages? Give me 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages when we come back.
No problem. No problem.
He's Everett Terry Jr., and he is on that stuff. I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones. This is NBA Fights. We'll be right back.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike.
Today's show was sponsored by North Star Vets, your area's top veterinary emergency, trauma, and specialty clinic. North Star Vets, leading the way.
So I first wanted to become a veterinarian just from having a dog when I was little, going to veterinary appointments, seeing what they did with her, working with her, kind of let me play around with her and kind of follow them around a little bit. So it kind of piqued my interest there. Ended up going to undergrad at University of Pennsylvania, vet school at Ohio State. Then I ended up doing an internship in Charlotte, North Carolina, Carolina veterinary specialist, and neurology residency in Jacksonville, Florida. I read about it, kind of was intrigued by the Hospital Design of the Year 2012, Hospital of the Year 2013. It's really like that everybody actually works together for the good of the pet. That's kind of the bottom line. So whatever's best for the animal is what everyone's mantra is, basically. So there's no selfishness, no egos, everything just working together to make pet owners and pets very happy. I know that human-animal bond is it's been pretty strong in my life, and I like to help promote it in other people's lives and help make their best friend happy and healthy.
Welcome back to the NBA Files. Kwame Fisher-Jones, Everett, Terry Jr. You know, we should get a camera for the commercial break.
We should.
Because you throw some stuff out there, man. You know, when you throw some stuff out, it makes me think, well, I'll say it because I think you're going to throw some more stuff out there.
Of course.
Before we went to break, I'm not for Ben Simmons playing point guard.
Really?
No, I think there are other offenses he could run, and I wrote some of them down. But I want to get kind of a different angle from it.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you to give me two advantages because I believe you are a Ben Simmons point guard guy.
I am.
Yeah, give me two advantages of having Ben Simmons playing point guard.
So you look at the evolution of the point forward, okay? You look at guys.
Point guard, not point forward, because they said he's going to be like Magic.
That's my point.
Okay.
So you look at a guy who's 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", okay?
7 foot.
7 foot, well, however tall he's going to end up being. And you give him the ball and give him the opportunity to drive and create mismatches. One of the greatest things that Magic Johnson had going for him as a point guard with the Lakers was the fact that at his size, nobody could defend him. He could get to the rack anytime he wanted and allow him to open up the offense for other guys. You give Ben Simmons that kind of freedom within an offensive system. We know he's a pass-first guy. He wants to mirror his game similar to LeBron's. He has a broken jump shot like LeBron. So his best attributes are his ability to make teammates better. He fits within that mold. And rebound. And drive. That's why he fits perfectly as a point guard, point forward, however it is you want to call it, where he has the ball in his hands and he's running the offensive show. It makes the best sense for the Sixers. It utilizes his best talent. He's not a stand on the wing, catch the ball, make a play guy. That's the clear, obvious choice. The other piece is you're utilizing all of the best talents that he has. So what we know about him, again, as I mentioned, can't shoot, rebound, drive, pass. Where else is he going to play that it makes sense on the team? Because none of those skills are going to be utilized to the max of their potential for a number one overall pick unless you play him at the right position. And with the way the Sixers are constructed, they don't have a point guard. So why would you not play him there? We've seen Antetokounmpo run the point forward. We've seen LeBron run point forward.
So with Giannis on me, that's a guy Sixers could have. Go ahead.
I love his game. I love his game. Well, they were kind of leery on more foreign guys, but I love his game. What my thing is,
you give that organization more excuses than a virgin
I don't.
prom night.
I don't.
I haven't used that analogy in a long time.
I see.
They are excuse ridden.
Well, they are, but they ran poorly. I hate Colangelo. I do. I'm not a Colangelo guy. But I think that if you want this team to go forward, the best chance you have is to put Ben Simmons at the one, create a huge lineup. You go Ben Simmons at the one, Monk or whoever they get a shooting guard at the two. You have Dario somewhere between the tweener at the 3-4. You plug in Rocco when he plays, and then you have Embiid at the 5 if he's healthy. That gives you the best spacing.
You hear that sound? That's the wrap it up beat clock.
Hey, that gives you the best spacing on the floor that utilizes the best talent you have.
When I first heard it, it brought to mind the great philosopher Rick James. Cocaine is a powerful drug. You're going to put a 7 foot, 6'11", 6'10" dude with that body, that frame, you're going to put all that wear and tear on their feet, in addition to them having to run up and down the court. Like, it's not just the impact.
You going to put him in the paint?
No, I'm not going to put him in the paint. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to coach. I'm going to create an offense, I don't know, like the triangle, and perhaps let him play the role of Scottie Pippen. You know, or maybe run the same offense that LeBron James runs, where it's an early offense, where everything starts at the top of the key or the top of the wings. I'm not going to say, you're going to be showtime. I'm not going to put those projections on a young man who already is having foot problems. You're asking a car that already has transmission problems to drive 100 miles per hour to New York. What's the basis? What's the point?
All right.
If his best attribute is passing, and you play in a conference that really doesn't get up and down the court, you want to try to implement that. But what do you need? You need finishers. Who's your finishers? Who's your finishers?
On the Sixers?
Yeah. No, on the Wizards. Yeah, on the Sixers. Who are your finishers? Robert Covington, again, who got celebrated for making it to the NBA.
No, he's gotten a lot better. I can't say
Yeah, he went from abysmal to okay.
Nah, he's one of the only guys in the NBA who was doing 2 and 1. He's a great defensive player. 3D matters. He's a 3 and D guy.
He's a guy that led the league in deflections. He's a guy that
he's a defensive
gets his
player.
hands on the ball. He's up there with contested shots.
Right.
No, he is. He's Mark Davis when AI got here. He's somebody that has to be on the court. You got to put somebody out there.
Wow.
You need to tell me okay. I'll just use what you say. You're going to base an offense on, we got Robert Cup, we got Rocco. No. So if you're going to put
everybody needs that one guy on defense that can defend. You have to have that.
Yeah, but you can get that.
So you have to have that one guy that can defend. You look at all the top teams, they got that one guy. The Spurs, Kawhi Leonard. The Cavs, LeBron James. I'm not. The Golden State Warriors, Draymond. Everybody's got that one guy that can defend.
Who are his finishers? And when I say finishers, let me put some clarity here. I'm not talking about above the rim finishers. I'm talking about mid-range jumpers, guys that can finish the break.
It ain't Ben Simmons. He can't shoot.
But my point is, if he's your point guard, he's going 100 miles per hour. TJ? Is he kicking it out to TJ?
No, he's
or Sauce?
No,
See, you see that face? Listen. I agree with you, but I'm not gonna say it on TV.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. If you got Embiid, you can throw it to Embiid for a finish.
Who?
Embiid.
Who's that?
Listen, stop.
So if it's Wednesday or Thursday, he can't play. Right, because that's the middle of the week. Those sauna days. He got to go to massage spa. Right. If it's Sunday, he can't play because it's the Lord's Day. Right.
Oh,
so he can only
man.
play. If you got to be, it's got to be on a Wednesday or Saturday.
Oh, man.
So on Mondays and Saturdays. So on Mondays and Saturdays, they can run that offense. That's what you said, because that's what it means. I'm saying, man, availability is in fact an ability.
But I still like the fact that Arco is a good knockdown shooter. I like the fact that if Embiid is healthy and playing on the floor, he can finish. He can be a finisher for you. Sarge has improved greatly from where he was at the start of the season.
Now, because Grease says hot. Give me some other names.
Okay. Well, what other names you want? They're a team depleted of talent. There's not a whole bunch of guys there.
You can't run that offense. That's the big,
But you get a Malik Monk, you throw him on the wing. I like Malik Monk.
I joke back and forth, and we're gonna get to the draft in a second.
Okay.
But I use a lot of wit and everything to cover up the fact that the Sixers are painful.
They're tough to watch.
It starts at their decision making.
We agree.
Ben Simmons is a talent, but if you use him incorrectly, I'm gonna use an analogy here.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a comparison. If you use Ben Simmons incorrectly, you could be looking at the next Derek Coleman. And I don't want to see that, because I think here's the thing. Derek Coleman was a phenomenal talent. He was just mismanaged. Poor organization picks. When he had Drazen Petrovic and Sherm Duggan, he was okay. They were on it. They would see once Drazen went down, he started having weight problems and things went down. When he came to Philly, and he first played with Allen and he got back into shape. That was a team on the rise. Then they sent him to Charlotte, or he signed with Charlotte. Bad choices. My point is, I take you there to bring you here.
Okay.
Ben Simmons is a phenomenal talent, but if he falters, if he doesn't make it, it's not because Ben Simmons failed. It's because the Sixers didn't put him in the proper position. He is not, you use alpha and beta, and I said it during the commercial, but you're using a lot of fancy school terminologies. I took them as a sign of disrespect because I didn't know what you're talking about. So I was going to Google them, like when dude talked about my purple shirt, but it explained it to me. He has that personality, not so much as a Pop-Tart, but he's a karate man. His drive is inside.
Okay.
You don't want to take that and give that guy the ball and say, we know you're a rookie. We know TJ is your option or Sauce is your other option. But make it happen. Because then the buzzers come in, the hounds come in, they start chipping away. And he starts trying to do fadeaway three-pointers and having decision press conferences. And a lot of things get out of hand.
Tony Roten Jr.
Yeah. Another failed processor.
Tony Roten was awful.
You know what I mean? Or Kendall Martin. Like, it goes on. And these dudes somebody needs to step up and say, and I know his people have been pushing point guard. I know Rich and Clutch Sports have been pushing he's a point guard. And I know Brett is not a guy to step out in front of the organization. But Brett has to step in this one and say, look, rather than having him be a bring the ball up point guard, why don't we run an early offense like what LeBron does? I think that would be better. But they've got to have a scorer.
We agree.
to tilt that defense.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
And Jared Bayless ain't that scorer.
If you got a whole bunch of guys that drive and nobody that can shoot beside our code, nobody's going to respect you, and they're just going to clog the paint.
You're really going to keep pushing that Arco propaganda, aren't you?
Listen, he can shoot. What do you want me to tell you?
When's he coming on the show? When's he coming? Come on, Everett. When's he coming on the show?
That's
what this is about.
Set that up.
That's what this is about. Because you're going to keep trying to push this dude. Look, I'm an HBCU alum.
I am too.
You know what I mean? I went to Clark Atlanta, and I applaud what he did. I think it's funny that guys that didn't go to a black college are writing about it. But, I digress. Hey, but the fact of the matter is, Ben Simmons is a guy that has to be handled correctly.
Okay.
Point guard is not handling it. Not at that size. Not at that weight. The wear and tear is going to be... Because going up and down the court is impact. You're impacting your knees. That's a funny demonstration I got caught up.
Yeah,
it's an impact.
Okay.
So you're going to be putting that wear and tear on him. Game in and game out with inept pieces around him. So you're adding additional wear and tear. It's a bad move. It's a bad move. Now, let's start. We're close to it. I'm going to put my notes down. I'm going to cover them up. We're going to go Fox versus Monk. Because you're leading the Monk bandwagon. You got the Monk pom-poms, the T-shirt on. Why am I grabbing Malik Monk over Fox?
He can shoot. That's the first one. The Sixers need shooters.
But also, NBA players doing practice or talk about Instagram models. And what, fellas? Work on their jump shot. That's all they do. That's all they argue about this, argue about that, and shoot jump shots.
The last time the Sixers drafted a guard that couldn't shoot in Evan Turner, how many years did it set them back? They need a shooter. They need a shooter. Evan Turner was a driver, a guard who drove
he
the
couldn't get his own shot. That's what did Evan Turner.
But the point I'm making to you is Malik Monk can drive and he can shoot. Is he undersized? Sure, but Bradley Beal's undersized too, and he looks like he worked out just fine. You need a flat-out knockdown shooter. They missed on Devin Booker last year. Your argument for Klay Thompson is a hypothetical that makes perfect sense to the Sixers, but Golden State will be out of their mind to do it. It's probable. Okay, fair. But realistically, where they can actually go right now and address an issue is they have to get a shooter. I'm tired of them getting into early offense and having nowhere to go with the ball.
Why can't we bring in Kyle Korver? He's a free agent.
Come on, man. Stop it.
I'm being serious.
Why do we need Kyle Korver 2.0?
Well, no.
He's not athletic enough to get up and down the floor. He's a guy that will stand in the corner over there and wait for the ball.
Okay.
And occasionally he'll hit 2 or 3 threes a game and get out of the way.
He's also a guy that can work with your young players and teach them how to shoot. He's a guy that was a solid team defender. He's got a good basketball mind.
Solid what?
Solid team defender.
Where everybody else defends and he just happens to be on the floor.
Hey, he's in the spot we're supposed to be.
Goodbye.
That's the first thing. Did you say me goodbye?
Goodbye. That's what we're not about to say. Kyle Korver defense have never went the same sentence ever since Creighton.
I say he's a solid team defender.
Right.
He's a coach. Who, as a coach, you want to know where your guys are going to be. That's something you just can't.
He's going to be around the guy that he's chasing, who's shooting the open shot.
Possibly, but you know what? The bigger thing about it is, I don't think Monk can move without the basketball. I don't think Monk can get his own shot, therefore getting a guy off of him.
Did you not watch the game where he hit 2 back-to-back threes to tie the game up?
And I watched it where he disappeared for the better part of the game.
Okay.
I watched the game where he disappeared the better part.
How many games did De'Aaron Fox disappear?
De'Aaron Fox didn't disappear in any games, my friend. Okay. De'Aaron Fox made Lonzo Ball lose his mind.
That's the one game that's his standout game.
No, that's
the one standout
game. Tells you about a mentality. Here's the thing, and I got to wrap it up.
Sure.
I don't ever want to take shots at a young man that's entering the draft, that's fulfilling his dreams. So I wish Malik Monk the best. I hope he's going to be a phenomenal pro and have a long career. Fox has the things you cannot teach. Monk has the things you can't teach. That's it. It's that simple. Shooting you can teach. Competitive fire, grit, irreverent personality, leadership. Those are things. And when you got a guy that's a karate man, lead on the inside, and Ben Simmons, you need a guy that's outward aggressive. Dog, you like Sauce Castillas, so that tells your level of basketball. So my man Everett Terry Jr., make sure you check him out on mynewphilly.com every Monday. Up-and-coming talent. Should be hearing a lot from him. As always, I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones, episode 28 of The NBA Files is in the books. As always, see you next week. Be easy.
All right.